Hi, my name is Mr. Chonyo. Welcome to my study room. Let's look at this question. The A part says that the sum of three numbers is 81. The second number is twice the first. Given that the third number is 6 more than the second, find the numbers. We start right with the first sentence, which says that the sum of three numbers is 81. That means that if the three numbers are x, y, and z respectively, then it means that x plus y plus z equals 81. We cannot really do much with this, so let me make it equation 1 to mean that we'll come back to it. Then another information here is that the second number is twice the first number. You know what that means? It means that y equals 2x. Let's make this equation 2 because still we can't do anything about that as well. Then, given that the third number is 6 more than the second, so the third number is 6 more than the second. That's another information. That means that z, which is the third number, is the second number plus 6. That is 6 more than the second. And do you remember that the second number, y, is 2x? Wherever we see y, we put in 2x. So that means z equals 2x plus 6. And again, let's make that equation 3. Now, y and z are all expressed in terms of x. For that matter, we can substitute equation 2 and equation 3 into equation 1. That's what I'm going to do. So that means that wherever we see y in equation 1, we are going to put in 2x. And wherever we see z, we are going to put in 2x plus 6. Let's go and do that. So x plus 2x plus 2x plus 6 equals 81. And putting all the x's together, you're going to have 5x plus 6 equals 81. And subtracting 6 from both sides, 5x will be equal to 75. And x equals 15 when we divide both sides by 5. Now we know what x is, so we just need to substitute that into equation 2 and 3 to get y and z. So equation 2 now becomes y equals 2, wherever we see x, we put 15, which is 30. And equation 3 becomes z equals 2, wherever we see x, we put 15 plus 6, and that will be 36. So therefore, the numbers are 15, 30, and 36. And when you put them into equation 1, you get 81. Let's move to the second part of the problem. The B part says that given the point P with coordinate 3, 5 and Q with coordinate negative 5, 7 on the Cartesian plane such that R with coordinate x, y is the midpoint of segment PQ. Find the equation of the line that passes through R and perpendicular to P and Q. We'll first start with the fact that R is the midpoint of PQ. Then we can solve for the coordinate of R first. And we'll be using the midpoint formula that if we decide to call the coordinate of P x1, y1, and that of Q x2, y2, then the midpoint formula will be x1 plus x2 all over 2 as the x coordinate of the midpoint, and then y1 plus y2 all over 2 be the y coordinate of the midpoint. Now that we know this, it means that R will now be equal to 3 plus negative 5 all over 2 as the x coordinate, and then 5 plus 7 all over 2 be the y coordinate of R. And 3 plus negative 5 is the same as 3 minus 5, which will be negative 2 divided by 2 will be the x, and then this is 12 divided by 2. And simplifying further, r will now have the coordinate -1, 6. So this is the midpoint, the coordinate of the midpoint of the segment PQ. Now, for us to be able to find the equation of a line that passes through R and perpendicular to PQ, we first of all need to find the gradient of PQ, the negative reciprocal of which we will use as the gradient of the new line which is perpendicular to PQ. So let's go ahead and find the gradient of PQ. If we decide to call the gradient of PQ M, then the formula will be changing y, which is the same as y2 minus y1 divided by changing x, which is x2 minus x1. And that will be 7 minus 5 divided by -5 minus 3. And that will be 2 over -8, which will mean the gradient is -1 over 4. And since the two lines are perpendicular, then as I said earlier, the gradient of the new line, which we might want to call M1, will be equal to the negative reciprocal of this, which will be 4. Or in other words, what number are we going to use to multiply -1 over 4 to give us -1? That is just what you're looking for, and that is 4. Then now, using M1 and the coordinate of R, -1, 6, we'll put that into the point slope form of a line, which is y minus y1 equals M1, in this case multiplying x minus x1. Why in this case, this is x1 and this is y1. So substitute that in, we're going to have y minus 6 equals 4 multiplying x minus -1. And y minus 6 will be equal to 4x. Then negative here become positive, so we can x plus 1. So 4 times 1 become plus 4. And making y the subject, the equation of the line we are looking for is y equals 4x plus 10, or to write it in another way, 4x minus y equals -10, whichever way you write it. Thank you for making time with me in my study room today, and I hope to see you again. Bye-bye.